Today I'm gonna teach you how to make couscous that actually tastes good. And I mean, this is amazing. Like the best couscous that I've ever tasted. I know my husband was super turned off by couscous, did not even want to touch it, and he ate this one and he absolutely loved it. So I'm telling you, this is the best recipe and you've got to try it. And don't just take my word and my husband's word. Caitlin from Pinterest says this recipe is absolutely divine and so simple. And Kimberly says it's totally awesome with tons of little hearts afterwards. This recipe starts with choosing the right type of couscous. So I'm looking for like a more decadent version for this one. And what I like to go with is the toasted pearl couscous. This is an Israeli style couscous and it's almost like a noodle. It is so good. The end results almost taste like a creamy risotto. It's absolutely delicious. One of my tips, if you're making other kinds of couscous like Moroccan, which is really popular, you just got to make sure that you use chicken stock instead of water. So right on the directions, it tells you to use water. You're going to end up with a really, really bland couscous recipe and it's gonna taste like basically fluffy air. So you gotta switch it out with stock. If you're vegetarian, use a vegetarian stock instead. We're also definitely gonna add some more bells and whistles to this one. So make sure to stick around and let's get started on this easy one pot recipe. Next up, we are adding some serious flavor. We're gonna chop up some mushrooms. I want these really nice and diced and I'm only using the caps. We're also gonna be chopping up some yellow onion. This is gonna add a little bit of sweetness. We've got a couple garlic cloves. We also have some parsley that we're gonna add at the very end. And then my absolute favorite is Parmesan cheese. I'm using the Reggiano version, which is a little bit more expensive, but I promise you guys it's worth it. It brings in the best superior flavor, super nutty, really delicious, and it just melts right into that couscous. One more thing to mention about the cheese, make sure to shred it yourself and you wanna use the finer setting of the grater. This way it's gonna be like really, really nice and fine and melts super quick. Do not use the bagged cheese. You guys, this has an anti-caking agent in it that does not melt well. It's not gonna give you the same results. All right, so we're gonna get our stovetop started over medium-low heat. I'm using a Dutch oven for this recipe. I love Dutch ovens because first of all, they have a lid, which we definitely need for this recipe. And then you just don't have to worry about ingredients falling out. You can totally use a skillet with a lid too, but just make sure not to lose a bunch of stuff over the edges. To get started, we're gonna add a couple tablespoons of salted butter into the pan. If you have Irish butter, that's even better, nice and rich. Then we're gonna add in our onions and mushrooms. We wanna give this a little bit of salt and pepper, and we're gonna cook this for about 4 to 5 minutes until they're nice and softened. Next up, you're gonna add the garlic, and then you're gonna add in that pearl couscous, and you wanna toast this for about 90 seconds or so, just to add in even more flavors. Next up, we're gonna pour in our chicken stock. You wanna use stock, not broth, because it's cooked with the bones and it's gonna have a little bit more flavor in it than broth, which is more watery. Then you're gonna cover this up. When we cover this, we're gonna cook it for about 5 minutes, and then we're gonna uncover it, give it a good stir. If you feel like you really need a little bit more liquid to help cook the rest of the couscous, add about a 1/4 cup or so of chicken stock, and that's definitely gonna help the cooking process. Then we're gonna cover it again and cook it for about 2 to 3 more minutes. We want those couscous to be nice and tender, almost like pasta would taste. Once I cook it for the last 2 to 3 minutes or so, I'm gonna go ahead and just turn it down on low, and then I'm gonna test one. I wanna make sure it's at the best texture possible before I actually turn off the heat and add in the cheese. Really good. All right, now we're gonna add that cheese and our parsley, give this a good little mix, and we are ready to eat. This is seriously the easiest side dish and it's so yummy. When you add in the cheese too, make sure to take a wooden spoon and really dig like that couscous off. I was freaked out the first time I made this like 2 years ago and I was like, oh no, I like overcooked it. But actually like when it sticks to the bottom of the pan like that, it creates so much more flavor and it's so good. I could literally eat this whole entire pot. Let's do a quick recap on how to make couscous taste delicious. First of all, you swap the water with chicken stock. That's gonna make a huge difference. You can add veggies like roasted red peppers, mushrooms, onions, add parsley, and then finally add some cheese to it. Parmesan cheese always tastes amazing in couscous. It maybe won't taste great in like a Moroccan couscous, but what you could do for that is you could top it with a little bit of feta cheese at the end. I think those flavors go together a little bit better, adds a little bit of saltiness, but you can always make couscous taste amazing. You just gotta add a little bit of love to it. This is my lunch today. You guys, this is so delicious. It's every time I make it, it's like better than I remember. It's cheesy, it's creamy, and it just has like the perfect textures. I really hope you guys make this one. It's worth it, I promise. Plus it takes like 20 minutes. Hutch wants some too.
Hutch, get down, you silly rabbit.
Okay, you guys, I've shared my secrets to the most delicious couscous recipe. I hope you guys make this mushroom couscous. It is so yummy, absolutely packed with flavor, and it will totally change your mind on your current views of couscous if you don't like them. Thanks so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a like and make sure to subscribe for new recipes every single week. I've been trying to make 2 videos a week just to get this thing really going. So make sure to hit the subscribe button to really help me out. I love sharing recipes with you that are well tested, and you guys are my favorite people. Thanks so much. I'll see you next time. Bye.